Hey guys, and welcome back to the Coffee Roasters Wrap. In this market recap, I'm going to be providing you all the updates from the last week. Just after we dropped our last episode, there was a crazy spike in the coffee market. Everything that's affecting this and everything you need to know as a coffee roaster. Let's jump in. So it's Wednesday the 29th, just after 7 a.m. here in Australia. Last week, after we dropped our Wednesday morning episode, on Thursday, we saw the market break back into the $3.40 mark and stay there till now. We've actually seen this morning, we've hit the $3.57. This has come down to a couple different factors. One thing we did notice for all of our Australian roasters and everyone watching for the AUD per kilo conversion, we're now sitting, as of today, at $12.62 AUD per kilo. So it's pretty wild at the moment with the Aussie dollar really suffering and the increased volatility in the core USD seed market. We've actually seen this once again being attributed back to a few reports. So we can see the CONAB forecasted Brazil 25-26 crop at 51.81 million bags. This is the lowest in 3 years. We've also got Volcafe's revised Brazil 25-26 Arabica coffee report. This coffee production is now estimated to be 34.4 million bags, an 11 million bag drop from their September estimates last year. This would signal a global deficit of 8.5 million bags. This is leading to that drastic increase in price that we're seeing. We can also see impacts of weather on coffee crops. Once again, the persistent drought in Brazil, the driest they've had weather since 1981 on record, has damaged Arabica trees and has reduced the flowering. So this is a continuation effect of that flowering reduction we're seeing. Minas Gerais, Brazil's key Arabica growing region, reported only 53% of the average rainfall from last week. Colombia is still recovering from an El Nino-driven drought, adding to supply concerns also. And Vietnam's robusta crop has dropped 20% in the 23-24 due to drought, marking its smallest harvest in 4 years. So along with the new reports and weather effects, we're also seeing global supply and inventory trends affecting the price at the moment. With ICE's monitored Arabica inventories, they've fallen to a 6-week low of just over 925,000 bags, which is providing support to this higher price. Conversely, Robusta inventories rose slightly to a just over 3.5 month high, exerting bearish kind of resemblances on the price. We've also got Brazil's 24 coffee exports increased by 28.8% to a record 50.5 million bags. This is pretty wild when we're seeing inventory becoming challenging. We're seeing when the price is high, I do hold the concern that they are exporting and reducing their in-country inventories, which is going to have more challenges when we're having a lower crop. So if there's a larger stock available for them to export at high prices, they've been doing that, and that's why we've seen this drastic 28.8% increase on exports. And I don't think the crops are big enough to refill these coffers, so we're running on an extremely low inventory from my perception. We've also got the International Coffee Organization reporting a record 23-24 global coffee production, which is up 5.8% and a million bags surplus. So we do get that conflicting reports, and is a million bag surplus enough? The other thing we have is obviously currency effects. We have the currency effects that we experience here in Australia. We obviously see with the American dollar being strong, but then we can also see the Brazil real has rallied to a 2-month high, discouraging exports and supporting the coffee price also. Another really interesting thing that happened this week, the US threatened a 25% emergency tariff on all Colombian imports, which is pretty crazy. This was escalating like trade tensions, and this was around a different issue around immigration and actually allowing non-documented people from Colombia in America back into Colombia, I believe. But this is a signal of the volatility that can get injected into our market. So although Colombia has now agreed to this deportation demands, averting the tariff for now, measures could definitely disrupt Colombia's exports or other near coffee producing countries for any other trades like this with America. So it's a high volatility. And I was talking about this earlier with someone this week when we've seen Luckin Coffee make a big position in Brazil with their MOUs, And with Colombia's largest exporter, I believe from my last reports that I've read, their largest export country was the US. If that is under such pressure and volatility, there's a high chance that the Colombian, FNC or the Colombian board could be looking for a more secure, large coffee partner to be buying a lot of their coffee. And maybe we could see a Luckin or an emerging market like China starting to sign MOUs or agreements with Colombia or with other key countries there. We've also got a bit of an outlook. So the USDA forecasts a 4% rise in global coffee production, with robusta outpacing arabica. So they reckon robusta is going to be producing quicker at a 7.5% and a 1.5% for arabica. We have ending stocks expected to fall by about 6.6% to a 25-year low. Whoa, a 25-year low. Like, we're in unprecedented territory with this stuff. Brazil's coffee industries for 2024 are projected to decline by 26%. That's 1.2 million bags. So I guess in conclusion of all that, and what's important for you as a coffee roaster to understand is these things are moving. It's important to be informed about this. It's important to know this information when talking to your suppliers or when talking to your roasters, or anyone who's trading in coffee needs to be aware of this information and needs to be understanding how it's kind of affecting them. So we're looking at a prolonged period of this sustained high, and we need to be mitigating those risks with our purchasing. It's very risky, and all the signs that I'm seeing is we're going to be having that quantity conversation is going to get stronger and stronger. Can I get enough product? Can I get enough product? So we need to be sure to secure that. And as roasters, on the flip side, guys, it's critical that we're actually working on our pricing into the market. So how are we then on selling this product? Because these price increases need to be sure to be covered in your roasted wholesale price. We do have a Facebook group. We do have a community that are talking about these things. We do have some awesome things coming up. We have the Roaster Summit coming up in March, which I'm co-hosting and working with Ian Cooper and a bunch of amazing coffee professionals on. So I highly recommend, if you're going to be heading down to Melbourne, or if you can get down there for that event, please go and get it out. There are still a couple tickets left now. It's going to be such a valuable resource. We've got pricing workshops, we've got buying workshops, we've got tasting workshops, we've got a panel with some of the best traders and roasters from around the country to talk about these things and to give you that key insight. Information and preparation is what's going to get us through this year, guys. So guys, my biggest takeaway from this week is take nothing for granted. We're in unprecedented waters, and I think the only way that we can prepare and protect ourselves and our businesses in this time is to stay highly informed, highly aware, and communicate with our supply chain. So that's all from me, guys. Happy roasting. Be sure to follow along. Be sure to give it a like. Be sure to give it a share. And we'll try and keep you up to date with everything else. I do have a guest episode that will hopefully be coming out next week, which is really exciting. But I will be bringing you this market update every single week. Take care, guys. Happy roasting.